Several British ministers have resigned in quick succession in moves that put the future of Prime Minister Boris Johnson in peril. If the embattled British Premier is ousted, who could replace him?
Does the Prime Minister think there are any circumstances in which he should resign?
I think, Mr. Speaker, clearly if there were circumstances in which I felt it was impossible for the government to go on and discharge the mandate that we've been given.
Foreign Secretary Liz Truss is the darling of the Conservatives' grassroots and has regularly topped polls of party members carried out by the website Conservative Home. Truss has a carefully cultivated public image and was photographed in a tank last year, evoking a famous 1986 image of Britain's first female Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, who was also captured in such a pose. The 46-year-old spent the first 2 years of Johnson's premiership as International Trade Secretary, championing Brexit, and last year was appointed as Britain's lead negotiator with the European Union. Former Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt finished second to Johnson in the 2019 leadership contest. He would offer a more serious and less controversial style of leadership after the turmoil of Johnson's premiership. Over the last 2 years, Hunt has used his experience as a former health secretary to chair the Health Select Committee and has not been tarnished by having served in the current government.
The difference between this government and that opposition is we have a plan and they do not. And we're getting on. They want to focus on this type of issue, Mr. Speaker. We're going to get on with our jobs. We're going to control prices, Mr. Speaker, by not giving in to the union barons. They're paid by the union barons, and they're proud of it.
Defense Minister Ben Wallace has risen in recent months to be the most popular member of the government with Conservative Party members, thanks to his handling of the Ukraine crisis. He was Security Minister from 2016 until taking on his current role 3 years later, winning plaudits for his department's role in the evacuation of British nationals and allies from Afghanistan last year and the sending of weapons to Kiev during the recent war in Ukraine. Rishi Sunak was until last year the favorite to succeed Johnson. Sunak was praised for a rescue package for the economy during the coronavirus pandemic, including a jobs retention program, which prevented mass unemployment that could cost as much as $514 billion. But he faced criticism for not giving enough cost of living support to households, his wealthy wife's non-domiciled tax status and a fine he received, along with Johnson for breaking COVID-19 lockdown rules. His tax and spend budget last year put Britain on course for its biggest tax burden since the 1950s, undermining his claims to favor lower taxes.
It's exactly when times are tough and when the country faces pressures on the economy and pressures on their budgets, Mr. Speaker, and when we have the biggest war in Europe for 80 years, Mr. Speaker, that is exactly the moment that you'd expect a government to continue with its work, not to walk away, Mr. Speaker, and to get on with our job and to focus on the things that matter to the people of this country.